Hello YouTube, hello Internet. My name is Jeff W. Roche. On this YouTube channel, I am called The Man Strikes Again, or TMSA for short. And welcome back. 2 videos ago, I said I needed to clean my apartment, and I said I would post a follow-up video, and this is that follow-up video. So here we are, and welcome to the Jeff Cam 1, also known as selfie mode on my iPhone. Of course, it's a lot better like this, right? But we know the internet loves portrait mode, especially Instagram and Facebook, where this video will not be posted. So might as well just do what I want. Here is the deep clean pan wide follow-up shot. As you can see, all the things that were obstructing the image before are no longer here because I cleaned the living-ish out of this apartment. And if we step over here and open this blind, this is the view outside my apartment. It's the courtyard to the building, so you see landscape, trees, and other apartments. It could be a lot worse. There could be a brick wall there or something like that. But this isn't really what's considered a view, quote unquote, view in Ventura, you know, a nice cliff or an ocean. For that, you have to pay a lot more money. And in fact, you could rent an apartment here on the beach that's almost total garbage in every way, except you're on the beach and the view is amazing. And that's how things work here in Ventura. But I like my little spot here, and I'm grateful to have it. Anyway, that's what it looks like when you open the window. Sonic the Hedgehog and I would like to take this time out to thank all 13 of you who watch my YouTube videos, especially the last 2, because, you know, YouTube is really based on title and thumbnail, and I do not approach YouTube that way. There are just a handful of you that watch them as soon as they're posted, and I really appreciate that because, you know, as of this recording, I have 245 subs. Hopefully the channel will grow. I'm going to tell you right now, though, even if the channel doesn't grow, I'm going to keep doing this anyway because I just like to do it, and that's my motivation to do it. This is now a cleaned up and organized glasses exclusive shelf where we store the glasses. We also grab the glasses right before we head out the door. And also here's the flash. Never too much of the flash. A lot of people that know me personally will often see these videos and then they'll send the feedback by texting or messaging me on other platforms, but YouTube comments are more helpful to the channel than those other ways of communication. Although, let's just be honest, I'll take anything I can get. And so here's a shot of my very clean bedroom, starting with flash over here. And it looks pretty good. Although, here's the problem with dust. We clean the dust comes back again. It doesn't stay clean, right? We all have this problem. So in about 10 more days, I'm going to have to do the whole thing again or else. And let's not forget about this situation right here. You may remember in the last video, there was a box there full of these cases, and the cases had to be assembled so I could put the shoes in them. And now it's all finished, and look at it. Isn't it beautiful? After doing this, I thought to myself, why the hell do I have 6 pairs of red shoes? I had no idea that I like the color red that much, but apparently I do. I also have other shoes besides these, but these are like the really, really, really nice ones. That's why they're in cases. Fun fact, some of these shoes in here I have never actually worn out yet, not even one time. I think I just don't get out enough. or something. But anyway, that's the follow-up on that. And coming down from the top, here is my super duper extra deep cleaned kitchen. And I'd like to point out, I bought this brand new Oster blender because I plan to start exercising and eating really healthy in the very near future. And in case you haven't guessed, the blender has yet to be used. I've only had it on here a couple days, but since I was cleaning up, now was the time to open it up. And here's a golden $100 bill that somebody gave me. Look at the inside of this refrigerator right here. It's all stocked with healthy goodness from top to bottom. It is like 99% healthy food items. The meat and the veggies, so I can start eating clean and doing jumping jacks. Let me give you guys a master class on pantry organization, as it is right here. Boom! Everything is lined up. It's also brought to the front so it's easy to grab, even though I'm 6 feet tall, so it's not that difficult anyway. Let's see. Oh, no, I can't touch inside there, but the point is, it's accessible and very neat, very organized. Very neat, very organized. Not everything in here is super healthy. We got at least one can of SpaghettiOs and lots of fake cheese. But why am I putting my pantry on YouTube? No one is going to care. But you know what? I'm having a good time, right? And maybe you are too. These are my nerd coffee cups. Although honestly, the only one I really use is Batman Returns. That's from my day job, so that's a pretty rad little piece of merch to have. But I mean, you can see what I'm into. When you open my cupboard, which you never will because you'll never come in my apartment, you'll be able to see my interest via these coffee cups. And this display right here of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I put this up here for part of the last video that I did about the 35th anniversary of TMNT, which if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go watch it. But anyway, if you have seen it, this setup is not the same because I moved them around. But here's the thing though. When I put these guys all on this surface to shoot that video, it was the first time that I had displayed all of them together like this. And I've been going to toy cons and vintage toy stores and collecting them from various places for the last almost 2 years since I've lived in the Ventura area. And this is the first time I saw them all together at once, because you have to go to a lot of stores and a lot of cons with specific things in mind that you want to buy, and then wait till you find them that way. And it's not always that easy. I mean, there's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 action figures here. And my first wave is incomplete without a foot soldier, which I do not yet have, but I'll find one one day. Where was I going with that? The point is, when I set these up to shoot that video, it was the first time I saw them all displayed here together. And I was like, wow, I've really been collecting these for a hot minute. I also have, like I said before, a ton of other action figures. X-Men, Kenner Superpowers, and Star Wars The Black Series. But I only have so much room for displaying stuff in this apartment, so I'm thinking like I could just do one setup here a month and keep switching it out and switching it out and switching it out, and hopefully the collection will grow, although that costs money. Like, for example, I have just 2 of these real Ghostbusters, which I think are from 86 or 87, and I have Egon and I have Ray, but I do not have the other 2. And it took me a while to find these guys in clean, mint condition with all the parts, complete, as they call it. So I still need the other 2 before I have all 4 Ghostbusters. And then here, I paid, I'm going to confess to the internet. I paid $80 for this Generation 1 Bumblebee. The guy in the store had this at $85, and I asked him to come down to $50. And he came down $5, right? And that was it. But the thing is, I got the back card too. The thing is, that's the going rate for this. Because it's a Gen 1, and Bumblebee is the third most famous Transformer after Optimus Prime, which I do not have, and Megatron, which I also do not have. But what's hilarious about it is that like a lot of these Gen 1 Transformers were made with die-cast metal, and Bumblebee is not. He's very lightweight plastic, and if you transform him into a car, he's about 1 inch by 1 inch square of plastic. So it's funny. My nostalgia that I paid $80 for is a square inch piece of plastic, but I don't care because it makes me feel like it makes me feel the magic of 80s little kidness, and that's what I'm here for. And this is Blaster, and he turns into a boombox, but they look better when they're like transformed in battle mode. And speaking of battle mode, over here we have He-Man and Skeletor. And these guys also took me a long time to find each one of them complete in reasonably good shape. This guy's got a couple scuffs on him right here, right? But like, what are you going to do? It's a 40-year-old toy. It was never designed to be in an art museum, right? But I mean, if you get one in the box that's never been used, you can do it that way. The point is, it takes a long time to find these guys in this good a shape. I mean, look at these two. They're in pretty new. They look pretty damn good when they're like almost as old as me. And I have several others. Hence my display situation. And then Lion-O here. This is the only Thundercat that I have because it's the only one that I found complete at a decent price in the last 2 years. And he comes with this guy. He's also his eyes are supposed to light up like he does in the cartoon when he puts his sword up in front of his face and says something that I can't remember. But that's the Sword of Omens. To find one this straight is next to impossible, but I did, and I feel pretty good about that. But that's the only Thundercat I have. And this Madball. This is 80s. This is pure 80s magic right here, okay? And this Roger Rabbit, somebody gifted me. Still in the box, still mint condition, and my name's Roger, but you can call me Roger. Still works perfectly, bitches! And if we step out through this patio door here, this is my backyard. And I honestly just keep it pretty clean. I haven't done too much with it, but here I am in sunny, beautiful Ventura, California. See those palm trees back there? So it's late summertime now, and it's probably about 72 degrees, but the weather here is virtually always nice, unless we have torrential rains or wildfires. Anyway, this concludes the Deep Clean follow-up video featuring some of my cool 80s stuff. What I really got to do is get back out there into the world and make more cool videos about more cool places. But if you're still watching, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jeff Roush. Be safe out there in internet land.